Okay, how's everybody doing this evening? Just gave you a shot of one of my favorite restaurants right behind me. It's called Barrel Republic. And we're in Carlsbad, California, and my name is Kent. And the channel is EOS Antifragile. And I talk about the blockchain every single evening. And yes, this is a very good place to buy a hamburger. In fact, on Monday nights, I believe the hamburgers are like $6. So if you ever get to Carlsbad, go to State Street, go to the Barrel Republic. They have like, I think over 100, maybe 50, 100 beers on tap. They've got a really great hamburger on Monday night. So like I said last night, I want to talk a little bit more about the markets, because obviously markets are down, and for no particular reason as far as I'm concerned, especially given the news that we have and how things are really progressing as far as blockchain is concerned, as far as cryptocurrency is concerned. More people are talking about them. They're getting worldwide attention. Governments are now talking about it. Presidents are talking about it. Major companies like Facebook are doing things with blockchain, with cryptocurrency. So actually things are very good, but the price does not reflect that. And it's kind of interesting because I would call the markets right now what you'd call anti-fragile. And if you know what I'm talking about when I say anti-fragile, then you're familiar with the book. And there's a book out there, it's called Antifragile. And if I see that Dan Larimer is reading that book, I've never read the book, I've just heard about it. And what Antifragile is basically is saying that you want to make things not fragile. I mean, the way the world is structured, when things are fragile, they break. Like for instance, a diamond. A diamond is very hard because it can take a lot of stress, and that's what makes it very, very, very tough. The stress makes it the hardness of the diamond, the pressure, the stress, whatever it is. If something is very fragile, like glass, it breaks very easily compared to a diamond that is very difficult to, or very hard. I don't know if it's difficult to break or not, but it's very hard. So anyway, I'll give you another example because that wasn't a very good one. Another example is right now with the markets. The markets are anti-fragile right now, simply because the downside potential is so much less than the upside potential. So right now, upside potential is a lot greater than downside potential. The fact that EOS can be pretty close to what money they raised as far as the $4 billion, and I think the market cap is probably close to $4 billion, your chances of losing right now aren't very good. The chances of winning are very good, but the chances of losing are very poor because it's not going to zero, and it's probably not going to go much below $4 given what's going on. So your upside potential is very good. The downside potential is not as good. I mean, obviously it can go down, and we can go right back to $1.50 and maybe below. But the upside potential is a lot more. I mean, we could go to $5, $10, $20. We've been there before, and given the opportunities available and what's being built and how much it's progressing, it's anti-fragile at this level. It's not fragile at all. It's easy. The potential's there. The greatness is there. The potential's there. I'll give you another example. If I'm someone and I'm broke, I have no money, then I'm not fragile. I'm anti-fragile, because I'm even though I have no money, then nobody can get any money from me. So if I go out and I create debt, or I have somebody sue me, or somebody's trying to get money out of me, it's very difficult to get money out of somebody that doesn't have any money, because I'm not fragile. I have nothing to give you. I have nothing to have. I have no possessions, nothing like that. So from that anti-fragile position, then I try to work harder to accumulate something. But the more you accumulate, the more fragile you become. Because the more you accumulate, then the more people have to get from you, or the more opportunity you have to lose it, or the more opportunity people have to sue you or take your money, or so on and so forth. But the anti-fragile position of being broke is actually a lot stronger than the position of having some money, because if you have some money, then you're always under pressure of somebody trying to get the money from you. So that's what's going on right now with the market. Basically, you got a really down market that probably won't go a whole lot lower, but it's got a strong possibility of going a lot higher. So it's not a very fragile market, it's an anti-fragile market. You can look this book up, look at it. Maybe there's a few videos out there. I tried to find a few videos and I didn't really find a lot. But I see where Dan Lammer's read the book. He says it's something that he's really enjoyed. I can't even remember what he said about it, but he said it was really a great book. It's changed his view and the way he looks at things. So you might want to check that book out. But right now, I think the markets have a lot of upside potential, and they're not very fragile. I don't know that I did a very good job of explaining that to you using the anti-fragile concept, because like I said, I haven't read the book, but I know one thing. I know one thing right now, and I just said a little bit ago. The upside potential is a lot greater than the downside potential. And the other thing that's going on right now is the ability to develop and have good people working harder than they've ever worked before, because they're trying to get something going on the blockchain. So in other words, when you have the blockchain, and I know it's a lot better if your prices are up because people are making money and you can pay them a lot better by having liquidity in the market, but also when prices are down, people work harder to make something happen because they've invested in it. They invest just like we have. We invested in it. We've got an interest in it. So obviously we have a very strong interest in making something happen in this kind of a market, because we're going to be more frugal with the money. We're going to be more efficient in how we do things. We're going to work harder and longer because we have to, because that's the only way we can survive. We have to do something big to survive. We have to do something great to survive. So we're going to be working harder. So that means we're anti-fragile. We're not fragile right now because we have a lot at stake, but we don't have a lot right now that we're making. So we're just working harder to get something going, and we're going to work harder and harder and harder. And that's kind of that idea of being anti-fragile, is when you are fragile, you try to work out of that position, and the harder you work, the more you become not fragile. So anyway, look it up. I might put a link to anti-fragile in this video. I think his name's Caleb. I can't remember what his first name is. I think he might be German or someplace like that. But anyway, check it out. And I think right now the upside potential is great. There's a lot of development going on. People are working harder than ever trying to get something going on the blockchain. So please stay tuned, because I think things will get much, much, much better. And I do believe that the people that hang in there will be the people that will benefit. One more quick little story before I leave you tonight. My sons both were wrestlers here in San Diego County. Very good wrestlers. They both were Masters champions. Both of them went to Arizona State University. Both of them were All-Americans. But anyway, there's a school here in San Diego, and it's called Poway. And if you're from San Diego and you know wrestling, you know Poway High School. Poway High School is probably one of the most dominant wrestling high schools in the country. In fact, Coach Brandstetter, I know him fairly well because I went to a lot of meets, got to talk to him. I think he has one of the best high school records of any sport as far as a coach is concerned. Won and lost more than anything. I think he's like 400 or 500 or 602. It's like he's won, I can't remember how many it is. It's like 500 or 600 dual matches, and I think he's only lost 2. So he's like 502. So who else is 502 in the country? No basketball coach, no football coach, no track coach, nobody. Well, this is Coach Brandstetter in Poway. So anyway, I always like Brandstetter, Coach Brandstetter, because he's not an animated guy. He's a guy that's on the side, and he's watching very, very closely, but he's not losing his cool. He always keeps himself very much under control. So anyway, the Poway motto, or the Poway saying, is those who stay will be champions. And I think they had it on the back of their jerseys or on the back of their shirts or T-shirts or whatever they wrote it, or to the wrestling matches, and they'd always say that on the back. Let's say, those who stay will be champions. Those who stay will be champions. So if you leave the team, you're never going to taste the victory, or you're never going to have the victories, the state championships, the Masters championships, the league championships. But if you stay and you work hard, you will be a champion. And that's what this is about. This is about staying and working hard and working under pressure and trying to get something to happen. And those who stay, those who work hard, those who stay with this, and those who become, a part of it, will be successful, and they will reap the benefits of working hard and being at the cutting edge of something that I believe will be the future. And I believe that for a number of reasons. I'm going to make a video about that one night. What I think actually started the blockchain. I mean, there's this idea that Satoshi Nakamoto was the inventor of the blockchain, And I think that something is a little bit more to the story than just Satoshi. I'm going to talk about that one of these nights. But I believe that was started, maybe could be started by somebody else, not an individual or even groups of people that are software people. I think something else was the catalyst of it. And I do think there is a little bit of danger in the blockchain as far as how much it's going to take over our future and how much we're going to be dependent on it. So yeah, we're going to talk about that one of these nights, because there's a good side about the blockchain and there's also kind of a scary side about the blockchain. But I know one thing, blockchain will be the future. There's no doubt about it. It has to be. It's the only way the future can progress. Anyway, a little bit of a long video tonight, but I just kind of wanted to make that point. Of course, not reading the book, it's a little bit harder to make the point than if I had all the stuff in my head. So anyway, appreciate you watching. Thank you very much.